All right, it looks like we are up and going. Everybody, welcome aboard. Um, Chris, I saw you were over in the airport that we finished at last time. I hopped back over to Cayman Brac only because I was afraid that there wouldn't be enough room for everybody at this airport. So I'll be just flying over the top of you, and then uh, and then we can all meet up. Hopefully, uh, hopefully we can see each other today. That would be fantastic. Um, I don't see anybody else here, but we shall get moving here. I'm gonna look real quick on Volanta, and I see Chris is over in what is it? I forget the name of the airport. Edward Bodden Airfield. That is such a cool airport, the one that we finished at last time. Um, so welcome aboard, everybody who is here. We are in the Islander again today. At least I am. And I had to do this early today because I've got some stuff going on later. Chris, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. I see you over in. You're one airport over from me. I'm gonna fly right over the top of you. Um, but it's good to be back. It's good to see everybody. This is my first gonna be my first official flight using the using the Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which I just posted a video about this morning. Heiko, what's going on? Jamie, how you doing from Vancouver? Shoestring Media, what's going on? Mishko Blue is here, which is fantastic. I don't even remember which airport I'm at. Which one am I at? Am I at MWCB? Yeah, I'm still afraid that I can't see anybody. Look at the birds. You guys see that? How cool is that? Hey, Jason, what's going on? Oh, jeez. Oh, Chris, that's amazing. You haven't had the Caribbean World Update installed this whole time. That's funny. So I guess we'll see. You do see me parked on the map, Jason. Yeah. So I don't know if if multiplayer is gonna work. I'm still in the beta because the beta is working really, really well. But we'll just get going. We'll see what we find here. So I'm gonna go external power supply on. Go mixtures and props full forward. So I am using the um. Hey, Jamie, that's awesome. Yeah. So I was a Track IR5 user for let's see, mixtures and props for forward rotating beacon. And oops, I've already got my mags open. Um, let's crack the throttles. I was a Track IR5 user for at least 12 years, and it's a great device. It's incredibly complicated to set up, incredibly complicated to set up, and it's got a wire, and it's got a wire if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, you got to wear a baseball cap the whole time, which that just doesn't work for me. And I find this thing works really, really well. Says the guy who can't click his icons right now. Come on, please. I just realized I was messing around with the settings, so I might not have the settings that I want to have. I was messing around with the settings in the video yesterday. I'm gonna look real quick what I've got. Um, but yeah, the Tobii is awesome. It's really awesome. Um, let's see. What do I have here? I have it pretty good. All right. Yeah, like can't fly with you. Oh, your sim notebook is in South Korea. That's amazing. All right, let's crack the throttles. Everything's looking good. Make sure there's nobody outside to kill or maim, and there is not. And so we'll go right engine first. Nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Let's see. External power supply. Oh yeah, that might help. How about electricity? Electricity is a good thing. There's a good start. Alright, fuel pressure is good, oil pressure is good. One of the perils of talking and trying to do things at the same time. Alright, let's go mags to both. Check the oil pressures. Oil pressures are looking good. Go fuel pumps off. We'll go starter cover closed. Let's bring the props back here a little bit. Avionics master coming on. External power supply coming off. Let's turn our nav and strobe lights on. And let's see here. Today is St. Patrick's Day in the United States, where we celebrate Irish heritage by everybody getting drunk, except me, and I am Irish. Let's see here. Heiko. Oh, dude. Jamie, I'm so glad you did the DLSS swapper. That thing is the bomb. Jason, yeah. It's probably... Hey, Ray Romero. ¿Cómo estás? That's awesome. I'm glad to see you. We missed you last time. Necesidad. Oh, good. Okay. I missed you last time, Ray. It's good to see you back. Yeah, you know, Heiko, we get... I think Americans get so used to having everything like the immediacy of the world, you know? Like if you need something, you just go get it, or you just order it, or whatever. And it's not always the case everywhere. You know, like that's kind of one of the things I love about Anguilla, is that you're forced to just relax a little bit. So, let me see here. We are gonna take off and head east. We're gonna fly right over west, rather. West. We'll fly right over top of Chris in Little Cayman. Then we'll head over to Grand Cayman, and then we shall. Hey, there's a plane coming in. That's awesome. Is this one of our 261? That's awesome. Is this one of our flying companions? Here, I gotta set my 261 here. Why am I going that way? And then I think we're gonna go to Cuba, because I think there's no strangely, well, maybe it's not strange that there's no inclusion of Cuba in the World Update 16. There's no there's no points of interest, but at the same time, I think it's an interesting place, and there's also like literally 1,000 airports in Cuba. I didn't realize how many airports they have in Cuba. So Ray, we are going from Little Cayman. I think I put it in the video, and I can see multiplayer. I just realized that. So Little Cayman, let's see here. I'm gonna back taxi a little bit. It's at the top, MWCB to MWCR, and then to the north. Jason, that's great. Oh, cool. So, Chris, I'm getting ready to try out the DC-3. I'm kind of jazzed for that airplane now. All right, flaps are set. Let's go. Fuel pumps on. Mags are running. All right, Jason, good to see you, man. Now I can. It's so great to know that I can use multiplayer now. All right, mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. Flaps are set. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. And engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. And as my friend Pete would say, let's go commit aviation. And perfect. Perfect. Beautiful day today, too. I want to make a left turnout just so that way I can enjoy the scenery out the pilot side window. I don't believe so. Jason, are you still in the beta? Are you in the beta? I don't believe so. So I think what happened last time is that they had launched an update literally as I was opening the sim to start the stream, and I think that was the problem. It wasn't necessary, because I know other people have said that let me put the flaps up here before I blow them off. I know other people in the beta have said that the beta worked with multiplayer, but I had literally just gotten an update, and I think that might have just kind of thrown it for a little loop. But I'm just glad to see it's working now, which is great, because I'm happy with the beta. The beta looks really nice now, and it's performing very nice. So I'm gonna go fly over Little Cayman, and then I'll make a left and head down towards Big Cayman. Grand Cayman. It's probably not called Big Cayman, is it? So Ray, I am so glad that you're with us. I am so glad that you're with us. And Ray, mi abuela from Venezuela está aquí para uns, para I don't know how to say it, with us. So I've got some Venezuelan family. Ray is from Venezuela, everybody, and Ray's, which is why I have a special place in my heart for Ray. And I've got my Venezuelan family with me here in New York today, which is wonderful. So, trying to trim out here 100 knots and it's not working. Cool. Jason and Trail looking good. 3,000 feet. Ray, thank you. I try. I speak Tarzan Spanish. Mishko Blue. Yeah, so I was doing some reading on the beta, and apparently some people the multiplayer works and some people it doesn't. But looking good today. Bringing the power in the climb. So I'm just jazzed to be flying today. That's all. So we got some friends we're gonna go visit at 2 o'clock, which meant that I would not have been able to fly my regular 3 o'clock flight today. And I have not turned on my transponder. So it's been a busy couple days sim-wise, and am I at 3,500 feet already? Okay, maybe it's time to bring the props back, bring the power back, and push my nose down. So apparently they have announced this week, that's what that update that I got was, is that they have fixed all of the water masks in Ray Perfecto amigo. They have fixed all of the water masks in the Caribbean. That's apparently the update we got the other day. And so I was wondering if that's maybe one of the reasons. Just look at how good this looks. It's just amazing. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's incredible. Let's see here. And I remember this from the other day. It just looks so cool. This little swamp. We've got waves. Just awesome. And this was such a cool little airport. Such a cool little airport. And my instructor would be killing me. I don't even know what direction I'm going in. What am I doing? So let's get on course. Let's get on altitude. Start paying attention here. So we should have a decent tailwind up to Cuba after Grand Cayman, which is good. Let me check here real quick. It's 260 on the heading. And let's check Jason here. I had you in trail before. Let's see. That's where Chris took off from earlier. Let me poke my head over here and see if I see it. Don't. Whoopsie. I just came right over the top. Nice. What is going on here? Alright, so we're gonna have some over water legs today. Obviously. I think there might be a little bit of a left crosswind here because we are... Of course, I just realized too that given the fact that we are heading westbound, I should be at 4,500 feet, not 3,500 feet, even though I fully intended to fly at 3,000 feet and overshot my altitude and tried to make that an excuse for climbing to 3,500. Just some not very smooth flying on my part so far. I'm going to bring some power in, just climb up to 4,500, start leaning the mixtures out here. And let's see. Should be about maybe half hour over to Grand Cayman. Shouldn't be too bad. So we were talking about last time about people who had been to the Caymans in real life. I have not. And for whatever reason, from my local international airport here in central New York, it's super easy to get to the Caymans. I'm sort of tempted maybe to go do it. But I just kind of have this feeling that the Caymans are overrun with Americans, which is not really my type of, like when I go to another country on vacation, I like to feel like I'm in a different place, you know? Like I don't want I don't want it to feel like I went to Florida, you know? Yeah, Ray, the weather is beautiful today. The weather is beautiful. And I don't know why, I've always had the feeling that the Caymans were probably sort of Americanized, like Aruba, you know? Like it's just casinos and chain restaurants. Not really my type of thing. Alright, there's Jason out in front of us, under the nose. So trim down here just a little bit. And then I'm going to take a peek outside, see if we see anybody. And Chris has got us by a good bit. He's already approaching the island over there. And let's see, why does it keep doing this to me? Keep getting these massive updrafts. Broken 3,000 at Grand Cayman. Okay. So I'm just gonna follow that light below me, and we'll see there eventually. And so apparently on the east end of Grand Cayman is a lighthouse. That's going to be one of our points of interest today. One of our points of interest today. The East End Lighthouse. Yeah, that should be kind of neat. And what else do we have over here? That's it. So we've got the East End Lighthouse. And you can start to see those clouds at Broken 3000. Ooh, it's saying marginal VFR at Grand Cayman. That's interesting. Of course, I'm not going to make Grand Cayman if I don't turn left here a little bit. So let me see here. Alright. So what's going on with you guys on this Sunday? This Sunday afternoon. I'm still completely wiped out by the time change, which I think is absolutely ridiculous at this point. Like, we have a lot of farms around where I live, and my girlfriend was talking to some farmers that she knows, and she asked them how they deal with the time change, because they're, you know, working, you know, you gotta, like, you know, you don't get any time off on yeah, just like Amelia Earhart, exactly. Which way do I go? Oh, Ray, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. Mishko Blue. So we were talking to some. My girlfriend was talking to some farmers that she knows. And Ray will be in. You can meet us in Grand Cayman. And join along there. But she said, so this farmer told us they have to start like a couple weeks early, changing the times of when they feed the animals, because otherwise it just goes completely haywire. The animal, I mean, I have one animal, I have a dog, and you know, when the time changes, his schedule doesn't change, you know. He still wants breakfast at his time, and it must be crazy dealing with. Stop my fuel pumps on. I'm telling you, this is the thing, though. I left my fuel pumps on because my brain is not functioning. It's not functioning. Jamie, I'm like one of those people who can't function on any less than 8 hours of sleep. Like I have a friend, like my best friend. He's got a couple kids, and he's like, I just never sleep. He's like, I'm just, that's like normal life for me. Is never, 4 hours of sleep a night. And I can't live like that. I just can't do it. I'll demo for you one of the features of the Tobii eye tracker. So when I just went to take a drink and I realized like I'm going like this and my head's moving in the sim, so I can just press a button and pause it right where it is, and then I can have a drink of my tasty beverage. Which, by the way, is Vita Coco coconut water, which is good stuff. Good stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I love coconut water. Love me some coconut water. Jamie Whitman went to Grand Cayman in 2010. There's a chicken outside a KFC parking lot. That's the thing. Yeah, Ray, perfect. That's the thing. Like, so when we're in Anguilla, like, actually the last time we, oh jeez, that's funny. When we're in Anguilla, like, you get woken up by chickens, or I suppose they're roosters. I'm not much of you might tell I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but we stay at this place called Caramar Beach Club, and they've got a couple of chickens that just like roam around. And we're always up at like 5 in the morning when we're in Anguilla because you don't want to miss like any minute of it. But the rooster doesn't crow until like 10:30 in the morning. It's hysterical. But yeah, Jamie, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, I get the appeal, but like I'd rather go someplace that doesn't have a Kentucky Fried Chicken. I remember when we were in the very first time I went to St. Martin, which is we were on the way to Anguilla, but we had to go from the airport to the ferry, and we were driving along, and I, like you see a McDonald's, you're like, okay, kind of expect that, and then you see, I don't remember what else we saw, and then it was at the point when I think I saw Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Because if you know anything about the islands, like, they barbecue. They barbecue something fierce in the islands. And the fact that they had a Kentucky Fried Chicken. But, I mean, it's just catering to the tourists, I get it. But that's kind of the cool thing about Anguilla is, like, everything is local, there's no chain restaurants, nothing like that. So Enzer Gums, what's going on? How are you, sir? It's funny, we've never done the nightlife thing in Anguilla. It's such an amazing place. I don't know if I mentioned, but we got we're going there end of August. I'm gonna go for 2 weeks this year. But yeah, exactly, Mishko Blue, exactly. I mean, like, why would you travel 3,000 miles to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken? And I like Kentucky Fried Chicken. But Enzer, we stay at Caramar in Meads Bay. I'm sure you know it, and we don't even watch TV when we're in Anguilla. So, like, basically we go eat dinner and then go home and go to sleep. So we're asleep at like 8 o'clock at night. So we're up at 5 in the morning and just sitting out on the balcony watching what's the name of it? Muddy's Pride, that green that green cargo ship, container ship that goes in and out of sandy ground. And yeah, but the rooster doesn't crow in Meads Bay until like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I just love the pace of life there. Nobody's in a hurry. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you something funny. So we watched. I was watching the. I was watching the stream from yeah, Meads Bay is. I mean, everybody's into whatchamacallit, Shoal Bay, and we've gone there a couple times. It's nice. I mean, it's Anguilla, of course it's nice, but Meads is just, I just love the place. So relaxing. But we were watching this stream from Princess Juliana the other day, and they had some sort of, first of all, the weather wasn't good. I think this was Thursday. The weather wasn't real good. It was rainy. They were breaking out at about 2.5 miles on the approach. And then right about when like noon, they're called Tafelpuffer. This is the Britain Norman Islander from Black Box Simulations, and I have flown in this exact airplane, like this literally exact airplane. Was ist ein Puffer? Möchte ich gerne fragen. And anyway, they had some sort of cable in the ground around the threshold of the runway that came loose. I don't know why they have a cable in the ground at the threshold of the runway, but so there was a Delta flight coming in, there was a Vista jet coming in. Was ist ein Puffer? Möchte ich gerne wissen. Jetzt muss ich googeln. Ich muss googeln. And so so they literally had like 5 planes, and the Air France was coming from France, obviously, and that's a weird word, kartoffel, and a hash brown. I love hash browns. I love hash browns. Yeah, Rendezvous Bay. I'm with you on that one. Hash brown. I don't know why I didn't know that. So there were literally like 6 planes in the hold. They had the runway closed. The weather was no good. Delta diverted to San Juan. The KLM flight was coming in, and the dudes fixing or dealing with whatever the cable issue was at the end of the runway were just like strolling around. They weren't in any hurry at all, and I was like, you guys gotta be kidding me. I mean, and it got to the point where the Air France flight, Air France 498, which is the one that comes over every day, I think, every day, asked for a diversion to Antigua. They got about halfway there, and St. Martin Control called them up again and said, "Hey, you can come back. The tower's open, or the runway's open." And by that point, they had lost. They were at minimum fuel, which I was amazed at how well the pilots handled it, because so minimum fuel. There's 2 fuel states that you want to notify air traffic control about. Number 1 is minimum fuel, and number 2 is declaring a fuel emergency. So minimum fuel means like I'm low on fuel, I can't take any undue delay, but it's not yet an emergency. Like, in other words, I can't be put in a hold, I can't be I can't be sequenced behind other traffic. Like, I need to land, but it's not, not too bad yet. Whereas a fuel emergency is exactly that. That means, like, look, I need to get on the ground, or else we are going to run out of fuel. And the Air France flight told them very early on. They said, we're minimum fuel, which is a very, very smart thing to do. And I wanted to look up and see what the fuel requirements. There we got. That's probably Jason over there, I would guess. To see what the fuel requirements are for, a 4,000-mile overseas, over water flight. It's got to be. They got to have quite a fuel reserve. But the whole thing was really interesting. And then, so on top of it, the weather wasn't that great, and they were all right, Ray, we will be there pretty soon. Chris, if you want, you can hop over to Grand Cayman and we'll all meet up there. You can just restart over in Grand Cayman. And we're gonna get Captain Hughes with us here pretty soon. He's coming over. But anyway, it was really pretty interesting in St. Martin on Thursday. But you gotta wonder, like, what the pilots were thinking when you're like, okay, we've been in the air for 9.5 hours, so they're probably tired. And then they're in IMC, which I'm sure they didn't expect. And then it's relatively low IMC. And it was really pretty cool. Because you can listen, I don't know if you guys know, you can listen to the tower frequency. There's a website called liveatc.net. I'll type it into the chat if I can. And you can listen to all kinds of different tower frequencies around the world, which is really pretty cool. I disappeared. Where'd I go? I got somebody there. Chris, I will do exactly that. Let me get back inside so it's not loud. Where are we? Oh, okay. I see where you are. Alright, so we're going to go check out Chris's racetrack. And come down to 3,500. Alright. So I got my dad calling me here and texting me. I just have somebody my dad's bringing over some corned beef and cabbage for St. Patrick's Day. So I gotta make my girlfriend aware. So we've got a lighthouse, we've got a boat. What else we got here? Okay, so this lighthouse should be, unsurprisingly, right in the end of the runway, or right in the end of the island, rather. Oh, cool. So you know what? That's probably Whoever I saw over here was probably Michigan Blue. I'm assuming you're a college sports fan, Michigan Blue. I'm assuming so. I used to be a Carolina Tar Heels fan. I live pretty close to Syracuse, so it would make sense for me to be a Syracuse fan. I like Syracuse, but I don't know. College sports have kind of lost their luster for me lately. Matey, what's going on? Welcome aboard, sir. What's happening? We're just coming into... let me put it in the chat here. We're just coming into Grand Cayman, and then we're going to take a right, and we're going to head for Cuba. We're going to head for Cuba. Let me see here. I'm basically going right for this lighthouse right now. So let me pull some power and see if I can see it. Where are you, lighthouse? It's literally right in front of me. To the left here a little bit. Amazing, look at this. Alright, so you'd figure a lighthouse would be something you'd want to put like on the coast, right? Let's see here. Where is our lighthouse? It should be quite near it. All the way out here to see the lighthouse, and I can't see the lighthouse. Well, that's kind of disappointing. Alright, well. Ray Wilbur! What's going on, man? How are you? Good to see you back. This is looking awesome. And now we gotta find out where Chris is. Because Chris has landed at some sort of racetrack and he can't take off again. 2121 in the power here. Cool, Wilbur. We're gonna take off. We're gonna head out of Grand Cayman, and we're gonna head up to Cuba. I'm gonna go see. Well, I guess Fidel's not there anymore, but you know what I mean. So racetrack. Where's our racetrack? I'm getting pretty close to where Chris is. Okay, he should be straight ahead. Okay, that's gotta be straight ahead. Yeah, we're making some good time, and we should make decent time to Cuba, which is good. Which is good. So that's probably Chris. That's probably where Chris landed and he can't take off from. I'm gonna guess is right there. That looks like an airport to me. That looks an awful lot like an airport to me. I don't see a DC-3 down there though. Alright, but I do see a cruise ship, which is... Gosh, look at how beautiful this is. I mean, this is truly amazing. You know, Wilbur, we've been talking about that the last couple, you know, these couple flights around Grand Cayman. Like, it's one of those places that I could get to so easily. The tickets from like where my local airport is. Oh, cool, right? They're so cheap, and and it's so easy to get to, and I just don't really have that much of an interest. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to just go and check it out. We'll go first batch of flaps here. We don't really need them. We go mixtures rich. Fuel pumps are on. I am amazed at how good this looks. That's the racetrack, the east end of Grand Cayman. Okay, yeah. Chris used as an airport. Games and fun. What's going on? Welcome aboard. How are you doing? So I might just do a touch and go at Grand Cayman. I might just do a touch and go, and then we'll head north. The northbound heading is going to be approximately, I don't know. Okay, we'll have to figure that part out. But it's about 140 nautical miles to get up there, so that's going to take us about. Yeah, Jim. It's just. I mean, it just blows my mind that I'm sitting in my office right now. I'm also flying across the approach end, or the departure end of the runway, which is not a real bright idea. Make myself a hood ornament. Just amazing. And look at this. This is like. David, we are on the East USA server. We're on the East. Look at this water. It is. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. I mean, I'm just amazed at this simulator. I really am. I'm just absolutely amazed. So we got a runway 8. So we'll put that number 8 on the bottom hash mark. Look at the construction tower, the construction cranes over here. I mean, this sim is just. I can't get over it. I really can't. Alright, bring some power out here, slow us down a little bit. Get the full flap range. Alright, fuel pumps are on, mixtures are rich, seatbelts are secure. Got some cruise ships, gotta have some of those. And getting rid of some. Yes, Ray, I'm gonna do a touch and go, and then we're gonna turn north to Cuba. Should take about an hour to get up to Cuba. Shouldn't be too bad. Maybe a little less actually. We got a little bit of a tailwind. All right. Alright, let me see here. Alright, we're just about in full flap range. Beam the numbers. We are in the white arc. We'll go full flaps. Start coming down at about 300 feet a minute, 400 feet a minute should be good. John's Adventures. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. These things happen, unfortunately. And I'm gonna start turning it in early because I can. Alright, lazy turn here. Lazy turn. God, look at the cargo ship. This is all stock. I don't have anything installed. I mean, the airport I do, but like. This is somewhat of a short approach, kind of a lazy approach, really. We usually square it out a little better than this. We got 4 whites, little mixtures and props full forward. 2 pumps around, flaps are set. Airspeed's okay. Bring some power out. Yeah, this is the prettiest approach in the world. Z Sim Pilot. Z Sim Pilot, the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, this is. See, one of the things that you can do is get into poor habits because you know you can get away with it in the airplane that you're flying. Which is exactly what I'm doing right now. I know I can get away with pretty much anything in this airplane. When I was at 800 feet on probably a half a mile, and you can put it down right before the captain's bars. So we'll go mixtures and props full forward. Let's check our trim here. A little bit of trim forward. Alright. Oh wait, we gotta bring up 1 notch of flaps here. We got plenty of time, plenty of time, plenty of time. Fire station. Alright, takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. Let's go flying. Let's go flying. Just looking out the window before I took off. Alright. It's a cool airport. It's a really cool airport. We'll take a little early turn out here. Ooh, take out the radar tower on the way. Alright. Props back. Power, manifold pressure back. High alpha approaches. That's awesome, yeah. I usually don't. I'm usually a pretty... I'm kind of a boring pilot, to be honest with you. I like boring flying. I really do. You ever get excited in an airplane? I tend to think that is not the kind of day I'm looking to have. Yeah, Z-Sim Pilot. That wasn't too bad. That was a Derek Hughes right there. That was a Derek Hughes right there. It probably wasn't even. Probably wasn't even. For those of you who don't know, Z-Sim Pilot has never met a landing he didn't grease. This guy greases everything. Alright, let me see if I can dial up this airport here. Where are we? Oh, whoops! I'm going too far to the north. So I think we got to go about a heading right about 360 actually. Right about 360. And I'm blown away by this weather and these colors. That's just amazing. I get some IMC in here. Golf courses. We're gonna get some IMC in here. What do we need to do? What do we need to do? Where's our pitot heat? Do I have pitot heat mapped? I might. I don't. Oh, I do. Look at that. Alright, we'll go a few pumps off. Get some IMC time here, fellas. It's pretty cool. Alright, we are going to MUCL. I'm going to level off at 3,000. I'm going to level off at 3,000. I always thought it'd be kind of cool to do some like IFR streaming, like real IFR, not sitting in a 737 or an Airbus turning knobs, but like do some hand flied. Yeah, Jamie, right? Do some hand flown IFR stuff. Be pretty cool. Be cool stuff. I guess that's why I love instrument flight. Love instrument flight. You know, there's a lot of pilots who like they want to be in, like they're into aerobatics. They want to learn, you know, tail draggers and seaplanes. I like IMC. That's what I like. I like instrument flight time. It's good stuff. All right, so let's see if we can keep this thing upright. See if we can keep the dirty side down and the clean side up. Alright, looking maybe at heading a 010 from what it looks like. I would be really actually pretty thrilled if I'm in IMC this entire time. That'd be great. So we're gonna go heading a 010 and we'll go try to maintain 3,000 feet while they're doing that. And MUCL. Oh, there's a ton of airports in Cuba. Yeah, about heading a 010, I think. Should do the trick. Tell you here very shortly. MUC. I'm doing the alphabet in my head. Does that make any sense? Alright, here we go. MUCL. And, nah, I'm wrong. We're looking at what? Yeah, about northbound. About a northbound heading should do the trick. And look at us, we're doing some instrument flight, guys. How much fun is this? It's exactly what it said. The VTAR said broken 3,000. So that's pretty much what we are. So did I leave my mixtures? I did not. Alright. This plane just keeps wanting to climb and climb. So this is a view that Jim is familiar with. Clouds. Yeah, I think I was actually right. 010 should be pretty good actually. Need the mixtures. Alright. Let me see. I'll type it into the chat here. MUCL. Mike Uniform Charlie Lima. Should be round about an airport. Round about an hour, I would think. Round about an hour of blue skies, blue water. Because so the reason I kind of wanted to go to Cuba is that there's first of all, it's a huge country, but it's beautiful, and they've got a zillion airports. I don't know why they didn't include Cuba in the World Update, but they didn't. There's not a single point of interest in Cuba for the entire World Update, which I find a little bit disappointing. Ray, you're gonna be perfect going north. North is perfect. I just don't know why they didn't include Cuba. And Chris, yeah, that's kind of the thing. I think that's kind of a common issue is in the sim is, if anything, planes tend to be a little floaty, you know. And this right here is what I call Caribbean VFR, by the way. Whether they don't have the greatest respect for the VFR cloud distance rules in the Caribbean. Just saying. Just saying. So, and now this thing just wants to keep descending and descending. So let me see what our winds are like in Cuba. Let's see what our winds are like in Cuba. Let's go. Let's go full screen here. Weather in Cuba, marginal VFR. Winds are 100 at Niner. Variable 060 to 130. Broken 2000. Temperature 29 dew point 24, which is right at the edge of the temperature dew point spread. Winds out of the southeast at about 15 knots at our altitude, so we're good to go. We are good to go. So let me see here. Stafford, hello, sir. Yeah. I'm sure that's exactly what it is. I'm sure that's exactly what it is. Which is too bad. I mean, it's, I don't know. I'm no fan of communists, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, I don't even know why I said that. You know. Everybody's got their own gig, you know. But I think Cuba's probably... I have friends who've been to Cuba a couple times. And they say it's just absolutely amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Just the... having as many Venezuelan friends as I have, they are not big fans of Cuba solely because of the Castro regime and what's his name, Hugo Chavez there. They were kind of buddies for a while. But anyway, Chris, I think that to me sounds like a cool thing, though. If the airplane is modeled that well that things like that can happen, I think that's kind of cool. I get more enjoyment out of airplanes that require, you know, brain power on the part of the pilot to understand what's going on, and, you know, not necessarily monitoring, you know, let's say an FMC that is monitoring everything else, but rather being directly involved in flying the airplane. More my thing. More my thing. I enjoy the bigger planes, like this, the 737. I enjoy the ATR quite a lot. But I also enjoy, I just got my hand in front of the head tracker. I also enjoy the just the direct involvement of sitting here and having to monitor my airspeed, my altitude, vertical speed, heading. So much more interesting. Unlatch the one lever and move the other lever, and I think he gets confused with the hockey. Oh, I see. Okay. Enzer, you know what? You know what's funny, Enzer? I have the 414. I haven't even. I know they've released some pretty big updates for it the last last like 2 weeks or so, I haven't even updated it. I haven't even updated it, so you have convinced me. I'm gonna update the 414. I just wrote it down on my scratch pad that I've got here, and I'm gonna update the 414 and get at that. It's such a cool plane too, because Anguilla Air Services has one. And I think I told the story one time that I don't know, they must have been, I'm guessing it was for currency, or the pilot flying was getting checked out by the guy in the right seat, because one of the times that we went to Anguilla, they picked my girlfriend and I up in the 414. It was just the two of us, you know. I mean, I suppose it's possible that they could have other people show up, you know, to hop on board, but I doubt it. And so we got basically a private charter in the 414. See, walk-arounds, I love a good walk-around. I really do. I streamed one time one of my walk-arounds when I was flying my Cherokee. I streamed one of the walk-arounds on Instagram. I'll have to do it on YouTube one time. Next time I go to fly, like to really flying, I'll stream the walk-around. I love everything about flying. Oh, geez. Yeah, Chris, that's one of the things about multiplayer. That's one of the reasons why I never used multiplayer until we started doing this, because it's just that sort of thing happened too many times. After a while, it gets irritating. But so. Ooh, I've got 5,998 followers. I'm about to hit 6,000. That's funny. What blows my mind about that is about 3.5 months ago, I had like 800. And now all of a sudden, it's too funny. Yeah, that was I know which one you're talking about, Chris. That was one of the Roger Moore ones, wasn't it? Roger Moore, who I feel like doesn't get enough love as the James Bond that he was. I thought he was a pretty good James Bond. Alright, heading 002, it's telling me. Or a course of 002, not a heading of 002. There we go. Yeah, Jim, we got I mean, it was literally, and as a matter of fact, I think that flight is on my channel. I think my flight is on that channel. I think it was. Start seeing Cuba come into view up here. At the last approach, I saw 2 planes and you disappeared from multiplayer and final. Oh, the Timothy Dalton one. Oh, yeah. So, speaking of James Bond, they have there's a James Bond car exhibition that that goes around the world, and interestingly, it's been in 3 places. It's been in London. It's been in there's apparently a really famous car museum in Los Angeles, and it's been there, and it's also been in Saratoga, New York, which is about an hour from me, where they have a car museum, and I have no idea how they managed to get the yeah, Jim, you'll break out after a while. I'm out of it myself. You know, speaking of which, I'm thinking about trying Real Environment X again, because I think that I think that we're back to the thing where there's no clouds over open water anymore, and that's boring. I think I might try Real Environment X again because it was really good. But anyway, so we went to see the James Bond car exhibit, and they had it's absolutely unbelievable. If you ever get a chance to go see it, I am probably, I would have to guess, maybe might be 40 miles out of Grand Cayman, something like that. Something like that. I've got 2 planes right in tow. Chris is right in tow, and Jim is right in tow. So we are. Oh, you know what? So now I'm starting to think that maybe my multiplayer did die. Because they're both at 3,000 feet. I should be able to see. But anyway, the James Bond Car Museum. So they had my personal favorite from the entire display was they had the tuk-tuk from Octopussy when he was in India, and they did that little, you know, the little 3-wheeled Indian taxi thing. They had the tuk-tuk from India, and that was the coolest thing in the world. They had the white submarine from I forget which movie that was, but they had the Aston Martin DB5, which has been driven by every single James Bond actor. Yeah, Chris, I see this. I have the same thing. I have both of you on Volanta, but I don't see either of you in the sim. But the silver Aston Martin DB5 has been the same one, has been driven by absolutely every James Bond actor. The same car, and they had it there. And I mean, you know, it's a tiny museum. You can just walk right up to it. I mean, you couldn't touch it, but I was, you know, 2 feet away from it. I mean, they had everything. They had the BMW, and the funny thing is, so they had the BMW 850 and the BMW Z8 from, which one was that? That was a Pierce Brosnan movie. I forget which one. But the BMWs, you could literally, you couldn't touch them, but they didn't even have a rope around them. And they call them the one that the actor actually drives in the movie, The Living Daylights. Yep, Chris knows his James Bond movies. I like that. You couldn't touch them, but there was no rope around the car. Like, so I literally leaned my head in and looked at the odometer on the 750. It had something like 78 miles on the odometer, and the same thing with the Taliban, and the Z8 had like 85 miles on it or something stupid like that. They call them the one that the actual actor drives in the movie, because they have, like, you know, they have multiple cars, and some of them they wreck and some of them whatever. But the one that the actor actually drives, they call it the Hero 1 car. And it literally, if you so we got talking to the is it invalid? Criminal Venom, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me see. But so when you look in, we got talking to this guy who wound up being the curator of the. I'm trying to think how I can do this. Wound up being the curator of the exhibit, and he like opened up the car doors for us so we could look in and blah blah blah. And they write on the inside of the car like on the inside of the door panel, they write in chalk, they write Hero 1. So they know which car is which car. And it's just so cool. And they had a couple of the wrecked Astons from whichever I forget which movie it was. A couple of the wrecked DB11s. It was just amazing. Really amazing. Let me see if I can get the invite. Oh, no way. I think they're gonna have there's some like VATSIM event in Havana, and you can see the crosswind because I've been paralleling this this course the entire time. My nose pointed way over here, so the wind is supposedly out of like 140, 150. So the wind is right over in here, blowing this way. Criminal Venom, I will absolutely. I'm looking at my. I'm looking at my thing right here. Trying to see how I can get the invite. Let me see. Or I'm like half competent when it comes to. I'm half competent when it comes to a lot of things, but I'm half competent when it comes to Discord. There was somebody at one point, Venno, who had I forgot to type in who had the same problem, and then they clicked it another time and it worked. So maybe try clicking it again. Invites. We got traffic. Let me see if I can. That is an ATR, it looks like. Looks very much like an ATR. Let me see if I can paste this into my YouTube. This would be an amazing display of competence on my part. Let me see here. 1 second. We almost got it. Yeah, that happened to somebody once. Try that one as well. That might work. And welcome aboard, by the way, Criminal Leno. And we're not judgmental. Criminals are all broken the law at some point. Yeah, so anyway, the James Bond car music was just amazing. Cool stuff. So I'm obviously on multiplayer. I almost just got taken out by an ATR. Interesting. Nice, good stuff. Welcome aboard, sir. I always say sir as though there are no females in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I always feel bad about it. So my dog has just gotten up off his bed and is laying down behind my chair, which is his way of saying it's lunchtime. So once we get to Cuba, I mean, there are literally 50 airports in Cuba, which surprises me. But there's directly due west of the island that we're going to, this little island off the south, is another island called Nueva Gerona, which I pronounce with a horrible accent. And that would be a cool thing to see. There's a couple really good payware airports in Cuba. There's probably some really good freeware airports in Cuba, for that matter. Jamie. Oh, I got a funny story about that. So, Criminal Venom, yeah, I mean, I'm not really new to it per se, but I'm kind of new to running my own server. So, you know, I've been on a bunch of Discord servers for various things, but this is the first one that I set up myself. So, exactly, matey, exactly. So, any suggestions or recommendations on how to make it more better would be welcome. Don't hesitate to give me a recommendation on what I should do with it. But Jamie, so I was working, actually working for the German government, doing some tourist stuff at one point, about 20 years ago, and we got an inquiry via email for, I forget the guy's name. He turned out to be like a New York Giants lineman, like a retired New York Giants lineman. But he had a similar name, like Jamie. It wasn't Jamie, but it was something that could be either male or female. But it was something I just assumed it was a female, and I was writing back and forth with this person to set up this meeting. It was actually their representative who I was talking to. Yeah, you know, Criminal Venom, I would like to set that up if you could show me how to do it. I think I have a role as like administrator, but nobody else has roles, I think. But yeah, and so anyway, so I was like emailing back and forth with the manager of whoever this person was, referring to them as she. And then, like, when the meeting happened, like, this enormous man walked into the meeting, and that was, you know, Jamie or whoever. I was like, oh shit. It was really funny, and he was very, very gracious about it. You know, I said to him, I said I completely apologize. I didn't. He said, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. It's funny. Jamie and Kelsey. Yeah, I have 3 first names, so we all have our name oddities, right? My name is Michael Thomas Ryan, so I have 3 first names. Yeah, Mishko Blue, you said it right. I'm new to streaming. I mean, I've been doing, you know, YouTube videos for a long time, but nobody watched them until about 4 months ago. Ground speed. My ground speed, I have no idea. It's probably... Let's see here. I think... I mean, this is not a display of competence on my part. It really is not. See if I can find it. Notes around here somewhere. Get on course here. Ah, here we go. Ground speed's 141. Not too bad. Not too bad. But I am a couple miles off course. Let's see how far are there. 3 miles off course. That's not too bad. 3 miles here or there. We could do some private pilot math. You guys want to do some private pilot math? Some VOR math? Jim would love this. How many degrees off course would... Oh, look at this. No, this is perfect. Jim, check this out. Jim's going to appreciate this. So we are coming up on 60 nautical miles from our destination. and we are 3 nautical miles off course. So how many degrees, how many radial degrees off course are we from the VOR, if there was a VOR? Anybody know? Anybody know? That's a great question. That is a great question. Let's see. So my ground speed's 141, Chris. Hey, Mishko Blue is higher than me in many ways. Is higher on the leaderboard than me in many ways. Confidence and competence, both. I think I'm overconfident. No, I'm overconfident and undercompetent. I think that's the best way to put it. Jim Bridgman knows the answer to this question. I'm not going to give it away yet. You're close, Jamie. 3 miles off is 60 miles from the VOR. How many radial degrees off are we? I don't know, Jim, I don't know if you agree. I think, first of all, I think it's a mistake to shut down most of the VORs. Mike Coffee is in the house. St. Patrick's Day it is. Welcome aboard. Good to see you, man. Jim, I think you would probably agree that first of all, I think it's a shame they're shutting down as many VORs as they are. But the fact that they don't even really teach them, they don't even really teach them. So at 60 nautical miles from a VOR, for every 1 nautical mile you are off course, you are 1 degree off course. So at 60 nautical miles, at 3 miles, actually we're at 2.4. So we are 2.4 degrees off our intended course. And what they love doing is they love saying you're either 90 miles off, or you're 90 miles out, or you're 120 miles out. So you can't just do like a 1-to-1. Because obviously, if you're 120 miles out, then you would be 5 miles off if you're 2.5 degrees off. I don't like math, but I like aviation math, if that makes any sense. So, what's going on, Mike Coffee? What are you doing? That's a good word. These are probably the most boring streams in history for people who are just like tuning in and seeing some guy flying over a blue, like the blue water, talking about James Bond Museum. Oh, Jamie, you're right. You win. My bad. I think it's required if there's one nearby, and if you have the equipment in the airplane. But I tell you what, like, I didn't have to do a VOR approach on my instrument check ride because there's no VOR, and I don't get it. VORs are fun. Yeah, Jamie, flying over water talking about math. Yep, you want to talk about fun? I know how to entertain a crowd, let me tell you. Yeah, I think VORs are fun. I think VORs are a hoot. I remember when I first started flight training, and when the light bulb finally went off with VORs, and I finally figured out how they worked. It's like a cool feeling knowing that you can do something that other people can't do, Like, you could put somebody in an airplane and like tell them to use this thing to keep the thing you know, pointed ahead, you know, keep it level. They might be able to do that. But if you tell them, hey, fly, you know, here's the VOR frequency, find it and fly inbound to it, they're not gonna be able to do that. And I thought it was cool that I could. So you can actually set a field to probably probably can. The 530 is probably a lot more capable than I give it credit for. Oh man, Jim, so when I started taking flying lessons, that was 14 years ago now. My instructor at the time was 78 years old, and I'll tell you some funny stuff. He's hysterical. He doesn't teach anymore. He's 92. He doesn't teach anymore, but he still does weekly, like basically weekly safety seminars at our local airport. A bunch of guys get together, but he could work an an E6B faster than I can figure it out on the computer. It was ridiculous. But so my first flying lesson, he's 78, and I grew up around planes, but I hadn't been on a plane I hadn't been in a Cherokee in 20 years at that point, and I wasn't really sure what it was my first lesson. I wasn't really sure what it was going to consist of. And so I was kind of surprised when he put me in the left seat. And I said, you want me in the left seat? And he said, yeah, you want a flying lesson, don't you? I said, all right. He's a crusty old guy, too. And so we take off, and he had me do the landing as well when we came back in. And he would use his right pinky, because he's sitting on the right side. And he would use his right pinky just here. So you couldn't even really see it. But that's how he'd feel what you were doing. You probably do. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And so you kind of think you're doing the land. Of course, you're not. He's the one, really controlling the plane. He's just doing it very subtly. And but I couldn't believe he wanted. He said, just keep your hands on the controls on the landing. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And so we got done. And we were having a cocktail and discussing the flying lesson. Yeah, exactly, Jim. I knew you. I knew you would know that one. And I said to him, Luigi, what? You've got me doing landings on my first flying lesson. Like I wasn't really expecting that. And he says to me, well, I'm 78. I might die up there. I want to at least give you a chance. And that's the kind of guy he was or is. Freaking hysterical. I'm 78. If I die up there, I gotta at least give you a chance. So that's why he started giving us landing lessons early on. And he never had a student fail a check ride in 50 years of instructing, 40 years of instructing. Never had a student fail a check ride. We had a DPE flying to the side of a mountain on the way home from a check ride one time, but yeah, exactly. No better time than the present, right? Yeah, we had this is before my time at the airport, but there was an examiner came over from about an hour away to give a lesson, to give an exam to one of our private pilot students. Took the exam, guy passed it, and the examiner had to go home, but it was kind of crummy out, and he went out and scud ran it home, and he flew right in the side of a mountain, about 10 miles from his home airport, and that was his last exam. Crazy what people do. Crazy what people do. having some negative dynamic stability here. Negative dynamic lateral stability. No, longitudinal. Yeah, Mishko Blue, seriously, dudes. That's the thing, is that, you know, two things don't care. Physics doesn't care, you know, and, you know, the rules of natural law don't care. They don't care who you are. And I think one of the truest expressions in aviation is that the only hour that counts is your next hour. I think that is one of the most true statements you can make in aviation. Oh man, Jamie, I'm sorry to hear that. So one of the things about flying is that, and I didn't really get that until it happened. But like everybody who is involved in aviation, everybody knows somebody who is no longer here. You know, I mean, I had a hangar mate, one of my hangar neighbors, younger guy. He was probably early 30s. I think I talked about this at one point during one of the other streams, but he would. Yep, absolutely, Jamie. You know what, Jamie? I fly out of. I'll type in the identifier for you. I fly out of a former B-52 Air Force base in central New York in a Piper Cherokee or a Cessna 150, and I use the whole runway. I don't do intersection departures, and that runway is 11,000 feet long. Like if I did an intersection departure, I would have 7,000 feet in front of me. But you know what? I'd have 4,000 feet behind me, and that 4,000 feet might come in handy someday. God forbid. But this guy used to, his instructor was known for being kind of lax, let's put it that way. And this guy might not have known any better, but I don't think he really. I think he was a little bit careless. But we used to walk into our hangars at the same time, and I'd barely have my hangar door open, and he'd already kicked the engine on and be going. Like he didn't, no pre-flight, nothing. He would just get in the plane and just gun it. And he bagged it one day. He died probably 4 or 5 years ago now. 4 or 5 years ago, he was taking off. He flew into one of our friends has a fuel, yep. And what blows my mind, Jim, is that people know this stuff and they still think they can get away with things that I just don't understand it. But this guy took off out of it. He flew into a friend of ours private field. It's literally just a grass strip on his property, and it's only like 1,100 feet long. And he flew in with two people. There was a couple different planes that went in there, and he flew in with two people on board his plane, he and somebody else. And one of the other people that was there decided was going to go back with him. So they flew in with two and they were leaving with three. And my friend who owned the property told this kid, he didn't really know him, and he told him, he said, go all the way back to the end of the runway. Don't leave anything behind you. And he did. He left like 200-300 feet behind him. And he literally dragged the tail. It was a 172, Cessna 172. Literally dragged the tail through the dirt, trying to yank the thing off the ground because he was running out of room. And of course, he got it into ground effect and clipped a tree, and that was that. He and his instructor. It was his instructor, as a matter of fact, who was on the plane, and the two of them both died. And the woman who was there, she survived, but she's apparently like really, really traumatized by the whole thing. But people don't take airplanes seriously. Some people don't take airplanes seriously, and it's not a joke, Yeah, Michiko Blue. It's 100% true. 100% true. I had an instructor get pissed at me one time. You guys won't believe this one. He was my first instrument instructor. He got mad at me one time because I had to go pick him up. He was at another airport, and it was uncontrolled field. And I went over and I overflew the field 500 feet above traffic pattern altitude because it was a left. It's got crosswind runways. And the runway that I was landing on was a left traffic pattern runway, but I was coming from the other side. So the only way to do like a straight base entry would be to do a right base, which would be against the flow of traffic. And so I overflew the field 500 feet above traffic pattern altitude, just like you're supposed to do. Entered a 45-degree downwind for the left downwind, flew my downwind, landed, and he was literally pissed at me for wasting 5 minutes of his time by doing that. And I was flying there to pick him up and fly him back to our home base. And he's like, dude, just do a right base entry next time. And I was like, well, I could do that, but it's the left traffic pattern airport with crosswind runways and traffic. Like, I could do that and be a jerk and maybe hit somebody. You know, like, I just don't understand people. I just don't understand people sometimes. But enough of my crazy aviation stories. I'm sure Jim's got 10,000 aviation stories. Good. I love flying. I don't know about you guys, I love flying. That's what's so cool about this simulator, is it's so good. It is so good. You know. Let's see what we got here. We've got throttle hold in front of us, and where's he going? Oh, he's going to Fort Lauderdale. He's like way up there somewhere. At least I assume he's way up there somewhere. Let me see here. Yeah, he's at 38,000 feet. And I got some really cool screenshots on this flight. So we got Jim off the left in the RG. We got Chris off the left in the. I'm kind of pumped that I can't see you guys. You should be right there. Yes, we are. We are. Let's see here. What runway do we have at this airport? So there was an add-on for this airport on flightsim.to, but it was like a weird file. I don't understand. Alright, so we've got, let's see, weather is few clouds at 2000, temperature 29, dew point 23, QNH 1014, winds are 120 at 12, variable 07 through 150. And what runway do we have? We have runway 12. So, yeah, maybe it's unfortunately it just happens. You know, and I shouldn't, you know, we've all, you know, that's the thing about flying, is you can pay a very, very heavy price for a very, very small mistake, you know, and Lord knows we're not all perfect. Lord knows we're not all perfect. So I'm guessing that might be Enza right over there. Yeah, flying it's just fun. It's just fun. I do enjoy it. Got my I just hit 6,000 subscribers on the nose. How about that? How cool am I? My Cherokee's in for Elba Pino Bonsoir. Como se va? I need to work on my French so I know more than that. It's good. It's good to see you. Yeah, Jason, exactly what I was thinking. Do the over the top. QNH 1014. Let's see. I like QNH better than Inches of Mercury. I don't know why. Très bien, Albapino. Je suis très bien. I always get my Spanish and my French mixed up. Yeah, Mike, you know, the cool thing I think is that with the oh, we're getting close here, 15 miles out. With the ground contact model that they're going to be that Sim Update 15 is bringing, it's going to open up tail draggers, because tail draggers you just can't fly them. At least I don't think. Mike, in right now, because it's just too loose on the ground. I don't know how to explain it, but the ground contact in Sim Update 15 is so much better. And yeah, so anyway, I think once we get, now that we have achieved our goal of getting to Cuba, now I think the plan is to go clockwise around the island. I think it's going to be a fun way to do it. Perfect here. Yeah, like, I want to go to this little island over here, and then we can go check whatever out, and then up there is the Bahamas. Up there. So, where am I going? Where am I going? Alright, 10 miles out. We're going 2 miles a minute. That means we got 5 minutes of flight time. I've got 2,500 feet to lose. If I am not mistaken, that would be a 500 foot per minute descent rate. Yeah, Jim, exactly. Yeah, so I think the Cessna 414 is something I gotta get reacquainted with. I literally did one. I bought it because I'm obsessed with anything that reminds me of any of my trips to Anguilla, and I bought it because we did that one trip, that one 7-minute flight, and chop and drop, Chris, chop and drop. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I bought the 414, and I literally flew it once. I was like, oh, that's just cool, but it's going to take a lot of time to figure out. Because I don't like kind of. I'm trying to think of words that I'm allowed to use on YouTube streams. I don't like making a half-baked effort in airplanes. I like to understand them. I like to fly them properly. And the 414 seems like it doesn't seem like super complicated, but it definitely seems like something you have to have a little bit of understanding of the systems. And there's, I'm assuming that's Enzer right in front of me. This has been such a cool trip if you think about it. I mean, we've gone from, where did we start? Like St. Kitts or I can't remember. Yep, MUCL, Chris, correct. You know, like we started at St. Kitts and now we've gone. How many miles we've gone on this trip? But we've flown a good 2/3 of the Caribbean at this rate. We really have. Probably actually more than that. I gotta bring some power back too here. The shorts 360. Tell me how that is. Holding the baby, fingers crossed. That's great. That's a great answer. Mishko Blue, you tell me how you like that shorts 360. That is one ugly airplane, it really is, but I've heard good things about it. And I've actually seen them in St. Martin. That is one ugly airplane. What do you do if you are here? I think this is going to be a cool little approach. Alright. We're going to overfly the field. Wait, overfly it at 1500 would probably be a decent idea. So maybe I should. Oh, nice. The price. Yeah, Jim. The price is reduced right now. What's it going for right now, Mishko Blue? I'll have to check that out. Yeah, it is foggy. That's because the temperature and the dew point are within 5 degrees of each other. Yep, John's Adventures, that's exactly what I'm doing. I got preceding traffic in sight. Make sure I got all my lights on here. This is cool. This is really pretty cool. I'm gonna put in some flaps, some fuel pumps. I left my pitot heat on. I'm gonna burn that out. No airport, no golf courses in Cuba. Alright. Nice, nice, nice. Ah, there's some traffic on the ground. I can see departing. Alright. Get some trim here. And enter downwind here. Whoopsie daisy. It can be disorienting when you're in fog like this, especially over water. Cigar smoke. It might be cigar smoke. It might be cigar smoke. Alright. Back in the white arc. We're going to go 2 notches of flaps here. Alright, we'll go mixtures. Forward. Whoopsie. Need some power. Getting a little slow. Mark, we are on the East USA server. Yes, sir. I'm gonna go mixtures full forward, or props full forward, rather. That bright orange island is sweet. This is such a. Love this simulator, I really do. Mike, you're absolutely right. Alright. Let's go. Base here. Let's see. And this is what I like about the. I gotta drop the nose. That's what I like about the Eye Tracker 5 is being able to look over like that and see what you're looking like in terms of flying the traffic pattern. All right, now why don't I get trimmed here. And we need some power out. And there we go. Always turn in too early. Better too early than too late. Nice, nice, nice short final. I'm happy with 75 knots, 300 feet a minute. Good, good, good. Trim this out. Gosh, this one feels nice. A little touch of power there. Yeah, touch of power there. 75 knots, 300 feet per minute descent. Good, good, good. Good, 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 good. I want to see if I can make that first turn off. Chop the power. I'll drop the nose or else I'm going to splat. Alright. And toe brakes. Look at this. I don't know if this is... I don't know if this is one of the airports they used or they did for one of the updates. I can't imagine that it looks this good and it's a freeware. I don't have anything installed. Like, I have nothing installed. So this is what this airport looks like. How could that be? Huh. Hey Kelvin, what's going on? How are you? Welcome aboard. I'm like, how can this possibly be? This is I don't have any scenery installed for this airport. How can it possibly be that it looks like this? It's got to be one of the. But they didn't do Cuba in the update, did they? There's no way. Look at this. This is a mystery. This is truly a mystery. Wait, let me swing myself around here so I can see out. See if we. Oh, nice. We got some landing traffic. I bet that's probably Enzer because I think I cut him off. Sorry. All right. Throttles to idle, mixtures to idle, cut off. Parking brake set. All right. Lights coming off. Fuel pump, should have turned them off a long time ago. And let's see what we got here. I mean, this is... Oh, I left my flaps now. That's embarrassing. What we got? What do we got? What do we got? This is looking good. That was smooth, whoever that was. That was really nice. That was really, really nice. Oh, it's in a sober one. Okay, that makes some sense. I mean, it's I'm seriously, I'm looking at this like, what on earth? It's unbelievable. I just literally picked this out of a hat. I was like, okay, this is the closest one. Let's go there. It's freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. So let me see here. Oh, I know, I always leave my flaps down. It's terrible. Right. I do that all the time. It's terrible. Look at this. This is a sight right here. This is a sight right here. I'm taking a picture. That is so cool. That's the battery bags off. I'm gonna check Volanta here and we'll see. I don't see anybody else on Volanta. Where is Chris? Chris is already here. Chris is already here. Um, man. Oh, okay. Two different groups. Yeah, Z Simple. It's just, yeah, Mike. I'm the same way. Look at it. Look at this. This is my kind of airport. I love airports like this. Absolutely love airports like this. Unbelievable. Enzer, nice, nice, nice. Is that so? That must. I'm assuming. Oh, there was somebody right there, and they disappeared. Um, what a cool airport. I didn't even do this on purpose. Yeah, Stafford. It's weird. Because I don't know. It's very strange. I'm gonna have to look this up now and figure out what the story is because this is such a cool airport. I literally the only reason. Hey Ray, have a good landing, man. The only reason I picked this airport is because it was close to, like the closest one to where we were leaving from, and it was like near water. So I like airports near water. Um, so yeah, I mean it's unbelievable. So the DC3. So John, you must be on the other server with Chris and whoever else is on that. Gentlemen, I do. Oh, here we go. That's gonna be Ray. It's gonna be Ray. Ray, that is a beautiful looking landing right there. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Look at this. We're all making the first turn off. You guys are awesome. Gentlemen, I do have to go to my. We have to go to a friend's house at 2 o'clock, and it is 2 o'clock. So I literally have to. No, I don't see the Islander. So I literally have to hop off right now and go. And I apologize for you for that. So I do have to. Yeah, Stafford, I agree. It looks amazing. But gentlemen, I do have to head out because that's why I streamed early, is because I have this thing going on at 2 o'clock. But Jamie, awesome. You guys are so much fun. Stafford, Mike, Mishko Blue, John. Mishko Blue, I apologize that I'm leaving you hanging, brother. But I do unfortunately need to go. I wish you a good landing, sir, and next time I won't cut you off. I apologize for that. Matey, Ray, Mike, John, Enzer, Jason, Stafford, you guys are so much fun. It's great. Z-Sim Pilot, you the man himself. Wilbur, thank you so much for coming. Jim, awesome to have you with us. Really, really enjoyed it. Mike, Kelvin, thanks, man. Auto FPS settings. Kelvin, I use the non-expert mode. I don't even mess with it because it's that good. But Kelvin, you join our Discord server if you want to. 34 for the whole package or 19 for the 360 or 330. Okay, interesting. I'll have to look at that. Chris, good to see you as well. Wilbur, El Bapino, bonsoir. And gentlemen, I have to matriculate, but I really, really appreciate it. What a great day. And Z-Sim Pilot, absolutely, absolutely. It's been so much fun. I will head out before I wind up in a domestic Discord, not like a regular Discord. John, thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys made it a lot of fun. And Jason, thank you. And we'll see everybody. We're going to do this again Wednesday, so we'll do it again Wednesday afternoon. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your Sunday. And we will talk soon, gentlemen. Everybody be well.